Hi guys, Khalid from Cricket Fanatics magazine here, and I'm here with Grant. So Grant, just tell me, how's it been? How's the season been for you so far, playing for the Titans?
Yeah, we've it's been a little bit of an up and down season. Starting with the 4-day campaign, we won the first game against the Dolphins. We played some really good cricket, and then in between that, we lost our way a little bit, but got a really nice win over the Lions the last game. We're lying second. I think 6 or 7 points behind Lions now. So everything to play for in the last two games. The last thing you want as a cricketer is to come back for those last two games and it's a dead rubber,
Yeah.
So now we've got everything to play for. Our fate's in our hands, so we can hopefully push for a trophy there. And then we started pretty slowly in the momentum cup. We lost our first two games. We didn't chase well the first game, and then we couldn't defend a fairly decent score against the Dolphins, and then we had a really good win now, bonus point win now against the Warriors. So, like I said, it's been a bit of an up and down season so far, but a lot of good cricket in between. We just got to try and get that a little bit more consistent.
So obviously you come into a new platform over here, and a lot of the guys, I want to introduce you more to them. And can you just maybe tell me a little bit about your journey? It's been quite a long one,
Yeah.
quite a tough one. Tell me about your journey and some of the struggles you faced, etc., and how you got to the place where you are right now.
So it's been a long one. I was fortunate or unfortunate, depends on which way you want to see it, but I've been behind some really good all-rounders my whole career. I started off at Gauteng, was a Cares boy, and then after that went into the Lions Academy, and then found myself behind the likes of Richard Cameron, Heinrich Leroux, Shane Berger, those type of players. So it was a tough slog. I had to improve my game, to a really high standard quite quickly to try and break into that first class scene. And then I went across to Easterns. Their all rounder there retired, and Heinrich Leroux asked me to go across there. So I went to Easterns, and then made my debut for the Titans in 2014. Played a couple of games, then played a few one-day games, and then obviously the likes of LB and Dave Visser were back from injury, and so I had to take a bit of a back seat there. Just perseverance, keep going, and then now I'm probably fortunate enough to be captaining the Titans in 4-day cricket now, getting a few games in the one-day cup now as well, which is great.
Amazing story actually of pure perseverance, like you said, never giving up, and now actually one of the best franchises in the country. You're actually a captain of the 4-day side. It's quite unbelievable what you've achieved. Was there ever a moment where you sat, and obviously your dream would be to play for the Proteas one day, like any cricketer would be, but has there ever been a point where you were like, maybe I should go and hone my skills overseas, about overseas players, signing deals, etc.?
Yeah, so that's always a tough one. I got married, just had a kid now as well. My wife's doing really well in business as well. So it's always tough to weigh up the options. She's worked really hard as well. To go overseas, it's always in the back of your mind. The pound is quite strong, and it's just I think the thing that attracts most players to county cricket is the crowds and the atmosphere that they generate. You go play a 4-day game there, you're playing in about in front of 4,000, 5,000 people. So I think that's also a nice appeal. And then every one-day game and 2020 game is sold out. So you're playing in front of good crowds. It's a great atmosphere. The standard of cricket is pretty good. You're playing against internationals. Every side has got a couple of cold pack players, plus the English guys come back down and play. And then they get a few overseas players. So in a game you could be facing 6-7 international players. So that standard is pretty good, and you learn a hell of a lot there. I've been chatting to like Dave and now Hardisfulun now that's been over there, and just chatting to them about skill in terms of just bowling wise, and it's tremendous what the guys pick up that side. It's different conditions and that, and then you try and bring them back to the side. And so in terms of learning and honing your skills, I think it's a great place to go and learn your trade. And also obviously you get paid fairly well there with the pound being so strong as well. So there's a lot going for it. As a young player, I've always dreamt about playing for the Titans and doing well here. I want to win trophies as captain, for the Titans. That's always been a goal, and I'm really passionate about the Titans. I've been here since, like I said, I made my debut in 2014. So I've been playing for the Titans for a while now, and so maybe finish my career that side. I've got a ancestral visa and that, so I could pop across that side. But for now, I'm very much invested in the Titans, the Titans brand. But you never know what the future holds. But yeah, like I said, my wife's doing quite well. I've just had a kid now, so it's quite tough to up and leave as well. Yeah, so you've got to make those life decisions. And for some guys, life decision is that side. Which you can't blame the players for that. So you've got a short career and you've got to make the most out of it.
So you're talking about the standard, etc. And I've looked around the country, I looked around the world, and looked at different competitions. We've got like a Ranchi Trophy, for example, where a lot of youngsters get to play. There's 30 teams, they get to play it from a young age, the longer format of the game. You also see in the counties the second teams, of course, and there's like 18 counties, etc. Whatever the case may be. What does South Africa need to do right now to go forward, would you say, to get our standard of domestic cricket up? Or do you think the standard is already there?
I've had a lot of conversations with ex-players as well around this topic. Our standard, I think our standards are right. You look at all our 2020 competitions the last couple of years. All the international players and overseas players that come here, they struggle.
Yeah.
So we can't be that.
Exactly.
We can't be that bad. You look at how many hundreds there are around the country now. I got 100 against the Warriors in the 4-day cup, and it was tough. I walked out there, and the standard that I faced there was really good. You got the likes of Magala bowling quickly, Sapamla international bowler, Magala international bowler, Steedman who's bowling unbelievably well, and then you got Smutsy. So is the standard that bad?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? These guys are playing international cricket. So I understand. Yes, you could come across a weakened side. That I can understand, especially now with all the internationals, happening now, and the various guys, coming across and in and out. So, I almost talk about it. The old players. When you come into matric, all standard 6, all the matrics look like these big guys, and you're so scared of them, And then once you get into the system and it goes a little bit longer, once you're in matric, then it's, you know what I'm saying. So it's quite a tough one to judge. In terms of the players that have left the game in South Africa is quite a lot. You're looking at, you've got about 18 Colpacks, I think it is at the moment, which, all those internationals playing, if they're back here, obviously it's going to help our standard of cricket. But then, unfortunately, with the 6 franchises and the way we have to play our game, then talented players will miss out. You look like a guy like Wesley Marshall, who's done so well. He's averaged almost 50 for us in red ball cricket. He's not even featuring in our one-day side at the moment. So, which is no fault of his own. We got internationals, our whole top order is full of internationals, and with Tiennis de Bruin being injured at the moment, he comes back. Aidan Markham comes back for our next game.
Okay, awesome.
So where do we fit all these guys in? Plus now you want to add in 2 or 3 more Colpack players that have left there. There's just no room. Then you're going to start leaving guys out like Dean Elgar, which is in my view, you can't be leaving out your test opening batter who, in my opinion, still has a lot to offer in white ball cricket as well.
Lastly, just a message to the cricket fanatics fans and the aspiring cricketers out there.
Yeah, just to the fans, just keep supporting. I think all players want is people at the ground. That atmosphere that we can feed off. All of a sudden, if there's a crowd's buzzing, the standard of the cricket is a little bit more intense as well. The guys get a little bit more fired up. So we want people in the grounds, and we as players, we're trying our best to obviously upskill. And get that attractive brand of cricket back in, and get the crowds to people through the gates. I think that's something that we've been lacking, especially in our domestic cricket. And to aspiring cricketers, cricketers is a really tough game, and you go through ups and downs as your career is unfolding. And the only message I got for kids is persevere. You see a lot of talented young kids come through, and they don't get a nod. And by the age of 23, 24, they're looking for greener pastures where, the pot of gold is sometimes, where the place that you are. You just got to wait a little bit longer and hone your skills. And especially kids today, they want it too quickly. then when they get to first class level, they're most probably, you know, a little bit undercooked. So give yourself a bit of time as well. You know, so when you do make your debut or you do make the breakthrough, you want to come through and perform. You know, you don't want to come through and have to go back to club cricket or provincial cricket and hone your skill there. You know, make sure that you don't want to rush things. So when you do get your opportunity, you take it and then you can have a nice long career. You don't have to go up and down. You've seen quite a few kids come through the system, come up, play a couple of seasons, and then they either retire or they fall away or become club cricketers. And also, I think club cricket also needs to be addressed as well at the moment. I think a lot of youngsters have that. Oh, it's club cricket. We got to get our club cricket strong again. And that's obviously on us as well as first class cricketers. We've got to go back and play as much cricket, club cricket as we can. Obviously, it's tough with our schedule, but if we do have an opportunity, we've got to get back and give back to the game and help the youngsters out as well.
Thanks a lot, Grant Thomson.